to another episode of Like Me Easy. Today we got part 3 of Android user using an iPhone in 2020, iPhone 7 specifically. Might go into a little more detail about overall UI of the iPhone 7 in this video, and maybe a little more detail about the apps and maybe some other stuff. So yeah, I've been using this phone since I think Tuesday at this point, so not quite a week, but getting there. Been a weird transition, trying to get more content consumption on there because I'm a huge YouTube watcher, so trying to use it as much as possible, but I still do love the viewing experience and content consumption experience on my S9. So that's one thing that I'm never gonna like fully enjoy out of this iPhone. Maybe if I had like an iPhone 10 series or 10s or 10s Max or 11, I would enjoy it a little more just because of the full screen display, like infinity display. Also with the OLED colors, probably a lot better because this is LCD and 720p, and it's also like a 4.7-inch screen. And one other thing I do want to touch on later in this video is just overall compact size of the device, because that's honestly something that's a huge plus with a phone that size, is it's really easy to use in one hand. So let's get into the future details. So let's just talk about first my thoughts on iOS as a whole. Right now, it's good, but not great. So I currently have all my apps loaded up from my Android S9. The apps I mostly use for the most part is like Gmail, Snapchat, Instagram. I've been using less and less. Not really a fan of Instagram anymore, which is weird. YouTube Studio, settings, GroupMe sometimes. Doing a lot of TikTok lately. Messages, music, Chrome. Except I do use Safari, except it's not even close to as good as Chrome. Camera, photos. Haven't used FaceTime yet. If we go over to the next page, Stitcher I use for podcasts, Amazon, eBay for shopping, Google Photos a bunch. Just check other old photos since it has like unlimited cloud storage. PayPal every once in a while. Mercari and Venmo use a ton. WSOP poker. I love playing online poker, and speed test, just test my internet. Uber, haven't used that for a while just because of COVID. And speed test. So all the apps on here run pretty seamlessly. Snapchat in particular runs very slow on the iPhone 7. I don't know why. Just like standard loading times when you click it and try to open it up. It glitches out for a second. I don't know why that is. I thought Snapchat was really optimized for the iPhone, but apparently it's not. But just overall, when it comes to like navigating the device, opening the control center, scrolling through apps, it's all very seamless. Settings, absolutely hate settings on iOS. Android settings, so much easier to find stuff. Like on my S9, if I search for something I want to find, it literally shows me how to get there and what to click in the settings app. So underrated, and I wish iOS would bring that over here. Settings really needs an update on iOS. There's too much stuff going on. It's too hard to find stuff. Okay, next thing I want to touch on, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is just overall hardware. This feels like a premium device. You cannot doubt that. At first I thought it was going to be extremely light, which it's not. It's not heavy by no means, but like I thought this was going to feel like a feather. But it's pretty dense. I think the iPhone 8 is slightly heavier just because it's glass, and this has like a matte finish on the back. But overall aesthetic of the phone, fantastic looking, feels premium. Buttons are super clicky. The mute switch is a nice touch, I will say. Love the black color of the iPhone 7. That's solid there. And just overall fit in the hand is great. You can reach all corners of the device with one hand. And this just made me realize that like I cannot use an iPhone like 10s Max or any Max size phone in terms of iPhones, or even like the 10R, which is pretty big. It feels like a brick compared to this device. Like this to me is like the perfect size. I think this is roughly like the same size as the iPhone 10, I think, something like that. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I think the iPhone 10 is slightly larger than this, maybe slightly thicker, just because it has the full screen display and stuff like that. And I really just wish more phone companies would make devices this compact size. Like even my S9 feels kind of big compared to this, and I thought my S9 was a compact device. Also, go shop College Made Easy merch. I'm Physically Made of Money by Tim. If you haven't already subscribed to the College Made Easy podcast, go do so now. Help us reach 100 subs on YouTube. We're working hard. Linked in the description if you want to check that out. Last thing I just want to touch on in this video is just content consumption on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, as you probably know. Huge YouTube nerd, but yeah, watching it on here is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. One annoying thing, stupid ad. One annoying thing is that there's no button on the top left to exit out of full screen mode. You have to like straight up just tilt your device, which is kind of weird. I wish it was more seamless than that. But YouTube viewing experience is like, it's like a 6 out of 10. I'd give it. On my S9, I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10, just because the screen quality is not that great. It says you can watch 1080p content, which you can't. This is a 720p display. It's nice that everything fits the screen, like there's no edge borders or whatever, but the thing is you can't watch like 18:9 content, which a lot of YouTubers are filming in these days. But I just really wish you had those vibrant colors, that higher resolution when watching content on YouTube. Navigating YouTube is fine for the most part. It's pretty quick, but yeah, there's certain drawbacks when having an LCD 720p panel. That's 4.7 inches compared to my S9, which is 5.8 inches. Super AMOLED Quad HD display, it doesn't even come close. But for the average person, they won't be able to tell, and they don't really care, to be honest. Me, I'm a tech nerd, so obviously I'm going to care about that. And I definitely take that into consideration when doing a review on a smartphone. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and join the gang. As I said earlier, subscribe to the podcast, linked in the description if you guys are interested in that. And yeah, hope you guys have been enjoying this series. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.